Good evening, welcome back. We're gonna see ourselves the second second best out of one. Wow, I'll choke like when the camera's not on. But second best out of one, we're gonna see Zero Respect taking on Courage Gaming. You're watching the Yard Wide Festival, and it's a loser bracket elimination match. So loser goes home. Winner will continue on to phase of not full. Yes, to phase full. Not today probably, but to phase full in the next match of the loser bracket of the Yard Wide Festival. You already heard it, the draft is on the way. We are going to jump ourselves right in there as well. So here we go, Zero Respect versus Courage Gaming. And of course also that gives me the time to welcome my co-caster, Vickermont. Welcome back.
Good to be back, Shiver. We had a very exciting game between Vol Assassins and I'm blanking on the name of their team. Bignum's team. What's the name of their team?
Well, you just made me blank on that team as well. That's how that works. But they are insane.
Insane, yeah.
Gaming.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a really, really cool match. Could have gone either way, but Vol played very tight. And yeah, there'll be a big challenge for whoever wins this game. Zero Respect, of course, French team, added Funzy relatively recently, most recently of Quantic, of course. And they're strong, but Courage Gaming, I haven't seen them play that much, but I do know some of these players from previous teams. Judo was on, I want to say Duza at some point. And then
Oslick Gaming, I believe.
Oslick Gaming, you're right. Yes. And then Sima the Slayer's been on a number of teams like Orox and some other Ukrainian stacks. I mean, these are good players.
Yeah, they are. I remember you being very happy about the farming potential that Judo showed.
Yeah, he was on Luna. He never. I don't think I've ever seen him miss any creeps.
Yep, I remember that. Though last time I saw him play, he wasn't a carry hero, so. Who knows what kind of roles they have for us in store today. But Courage, it's the first time that I see them play here. They of course got dropped they got dropped to the loser bracket.
5 seconds
well, they not in the first round, but in the second round, I believe. Yeah. They got dropped by 4FC. They were able to beat Meet Your Makers in their first best of 3. So that's a pretty interesting achievement right there, I believe. I find. Just to give people an idea of what caliber of a team they are.
No, I agree. Taking a game is a big deal.
Yeah. No, they were able to beat Meet Your Makers.
Oh, yeah, of course, the MYM. Yeah. No, I mean, that's... MYM, of course, a team... it's hard to say, whether they're performing up to potential or not, but still, it's a team with extremely formidable players.
Yes. So it's... Yeah, it's a team I'm curious about. Let's just put it that way. I do know that their logo is taken apparently from a university in America somewhere.
Sorry, say again?
Their logo is the same as a university stuff.
Yeah! I remember that Reddit thread, yes.
Yes, it was a Reddit thread.
They took some guys... Was it as university or as high school?
A university or high school.
Okay.
At least, is a school thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Logos are hard.
Logos are hard. I agree, but it's interesting. That's why I remember them, because they have that logo taken from someone else.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
So far we've got Zero Respect already securing themselves a Visage and a Marana, which it's pretty non-saying. It's strong heroes, but they can go anywhere with that. We've seen Marana on roaming, we've seen her on mid, we've seen her on safe lane, we've seen her on offline, basically everything. Visage can go aggressive trialing, can go safe trialing, can be the only support, can be combination support. I like him more with the combination support. So, like him more when there's, for example, Sand King to back him up, as we saw in the previous game. But, in a way, Zero Respect, they're not saying anything with their first 2 picks.
No, they're really not. Both these are versatile picks. I mean, Zero Respect is saying a little more than most teams are, just because they like the one-row Marana for Jural so much, almost to exclusion. But even so, there's a lot of ways that they can fill this lineup out. The only thing is that you pretty much know that the Marana's not going to be mid, for instance.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Visage is a ridiculous hero. I think he's still pretty overpowered. You saw the potential of the hero with Veil in the last game, and with Drow Ranger. The hero just combos with so many things.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that again. This would be nice. To be honest, the Dazzle first pick, what do you think? I like Dazzle as a hero, but what do you think about him being picked up first?
I don't think he's usually a great first pick, and I say this as one of the major boosters of the hero. I think that when you pick Dazzle first, he's very powerful, but he only combines well with certain other heroes. he needs levels so the other team knows that you'll be a little weaker laning unless you run a mid. If you run a mid, there's many heroes that counter Dazzle mid. His range is not amazing. High armor heroes will absolutely destroy him in a mid matchup. So I don't know. I don't like a lot of teams are starting to pick it in their first two, and I want to say I like it because I love the hero, but I don't know what the win rate of it is, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of low. Like last game, the Dazzle was amazing in laning stage, and then did almost nothing the rest of the game, right?
Yeah, he was strong in lane, and then after he just fell off. Kind of. Also, there was also because what you mentioned though, that the other heroes in the game just took a lot of the farm. By the way, you have to toggle your microphone on and off inside the game.
Oh, okay. It should be working, but I'll check.
Yeah, I've been having that issue like a lot since last Wednesday, I believe. Just even though I just have to toggle it and then it's back on again. But
yeah, okay.
It's
all right. Well, I toggled it.
Cool. Let's assume that it works then. But it's like in that game, they were kind of deprived of farming space, and then you've got a lot of heroes next to the Dazzle that need a lot of farm. So Dazzle couldn't really get anything, couldn't really get his feet off the ground in the end.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. He needs, even as a support, he needs to hit those level marks. If people are being greedy and the farm allocation is disrupted, then he's not going to do too well. Inquiry. If Disruptor shoots you with Glimpse, and you get disrupted by Shadow Demon as the Glimpse beam thing lands, do you get glimpsed?
I believe no.
Really?
Really?
Alright, well, we could be in for some big plays then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I like the Shadow Demon a lot with the Mirana. I hope this is an aggressive tri lane and a safe lane for the lone druid that just got picked up, because I have to say, like, I'm okay. Like, I like lone druid as a hero, but lately I'm liking him only on the safe lane because he needs so long to get himself, to be having an impact on the game, to have his radiance up, or whatever he wants to go for. I hope that they give him a safe lane around an aggressive tri lane, Mirana, Shadow Demon, Visage, because with the lone druid in the game, they don't really need Mirana to be a safe lane farmer that much.
Yeah, I think they can aggressive tri-lane, as you said. Yeah, no, I think they can definitely play aggressively and have the lone druid take safe. It will probably be Wiz on this lone druid. His clockwork play the other day, I can't remember what day it was, but it was recent, was really fantastic, and he really helped carry them to a win. So, I don't know, I think safe lane lone druid is probably what we can expect. What I wonder is what courage will actually pick to try to deal with this lone druid.
Well, they need a mid hero so far, right? Or at least that was what we were expecting. I mean, there's multiple
They can run
options.
a support if they put either Dazzle or Disruptor mid.
True, this is true. But specifically to counter the lone druid, I think they're just gonna have to have another core hero, like something like a Dragonite or something that can also push very hard.
I think they're just gonna have to give it up for Huskar.
No.
No?
No.
No? You know how good Huskar is against Lone Druid, right?
Huskar. You're saying Huskar. You just know Huskar. Yeah?
So, you know how good this hero is?
Explain
this
us.
Huskar
Like,
hero?
tell us. What's the deal?
Alright, well, Mirana does all magic damage until like 35 minutes in. Visage is a magic damage based hero. Shadow Demon, Soul Catcher gives pure damage, so that is a problem potentially. I'm not gonna say it's not a problem for the Huskar, but Huskar is so good. Hero trashes Lone Druid so hard, and he's so good with Dazzle. Like, can we talk about the Huskar Dazzle combo for a second? It's pretty good.
Huskar, I have to agree. Huskar Dazzle is amazing, but I'm not seeing a Huskar here.
They're not going to pick Huskar, but
well,
a boy can dream.
Yeah, you can dream. Look at that! It's a Kunkka.
Kunkka's pretty good. So the nice thing about Kunkka here is the boat is just going to win fights. Like, this is such a burst damage based composition until Lone Druid gets farm. Like, Shadow Demon ramps your burst and Mirana and Visage provide burst. That the Kunkka's just going to be able to totally stop that. Yeah, I think so. And the other thing is 0Respect could have easily picked Kunkka for their own team. So it's like a pick deny.
True. Especially since it pairs up so nicely with the Shadow Demon. Like, I like 0Respect's lineup. Right now, though, like,
5 seconds.
Is that Mirana enough to help them in the middle game? Because I think Lone Druid, I don't count Lone Druid until later on in the game. Because he's not going to be able to have that big of an impact unless he gets really lucky with the tangles.
I mean, you don't have to go Radiance. Like, it's not
True,
like
but
it's
you kinda
literally
want to.
mandatory. You can make, like, Thunderhammer and be effective a little earlier.
I guess so. Well, which
No,
is the
I
last hero that
totally
you're
agree with you,
expecting for
Shiva.
Zero
I'm just
Respect?
saying, like, they can maybe do something a little more efficient. I don't know.
You
It'll be
know,
tough.
what I liked about the Kunkka pickup here is
Yeah.
that Zero Respect in this lineup could have very well gone for something like an OD, and now they're already countered.
Yeah, definitely. It's always great when you don't have to use the ban for OD. And Kunkka, yeah, has a fine matchup against Outworld Devourer. Although, you know, of course, who has a much better matchup against Outworld Devourer?
Dazzle.
Huskar?
Remaining.
No, Dazzle's not good against OD at all.
Oh, I was already wondering, like, what's he aiming for here? Well, there's a
No,
TA.
no, Huskar wins the lane against OD. But they would only have done it if the 5th pick works the other way, like if they had the last pick and
Yes.
not the 9th pick. TA is the last pickup, and this is I think what you were asking for, Shira, some method of delivering a lot of damage in a short time.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we do see, like you already mentioned, that Wiz would play the Lone Druid, and he has picked that one up. So this, like, I'm really hoping that he's just gonna walk towards top lane rather than walking towards something else. So let's hope. Oh yes! Everybody moving bottom. Yay! So far so good. Thank you for making my lanes look okay.
No, I think your lane assignments were definitely smart here.
To be honest,
And-
though, something that I didn't get the chance to say because, well, I didn't, is that Courage has actually a pretty decent lineup for going aggressive as well. Because and they're gonna do it.
Do they?
Well, apparently they have.
I mean, they're going, but
Or is it
which
to
I
dodge
think
the
is-
tri lane?
To me, it's more about dodging. Yeah, I think this is kind of rough because neither Disruptor and Dazzle, who both need levels, are going to have a very tough time getting them in the aggressive try. But in a 3v3 matchup, I think they're far weaker. I think Zero Respect has the much better tri lane, so they almost have to dodge it. So I don't know. I don't know how much I'm digging this Courage lineup overall. Like, it's okay. But the support pair of Dazzle Disruptor is something I haven't seen that much of, and we'll have to see if it actually, works.
I like it. It's gonna be tough for Lone Druid though, because there's gonna be constant harassment on his bear, which is the
Yeah.
most troublesome thing here for me, and especially because he can't really afford to give 300 gold away to that lane.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, X Marks is great against Bear.
Yes.
The battle
Against the Druid, I mean, and the
Oh, and
Limps.
this
I
bear
mean,
as
there's... They can honestly, like, do really, really well to... If they catch somebody out, like, between Glimpse and X Marks, that person is not getting away, so they can get kills. I just want to see how laning phase goes. I also can't believe they still haven't fixed this, like, sniper arrow on Kunkka's portrait from the pipe.
Oh! Hey! I have never seen that before. It's like
It's really
he's a
stupid.
laser tag on him.
Yeah,
Someone's
it
about to
looks
shoot him in the
like-
head.
Exactly. It's pretty disturbing. It's supposed to be like the pipe thing, but
Yeah.
it doesn't travel with the pipe. It's really, really silly.
It's weird. Well,
Yeah.
on the top lane, we already have our aggression going on. He's stuck inside the kinetic field. There is no rocket barrage, though. Nothing skilled yet by the gyrocopter, but the first blood is on the board anyway. And Visage, who already rotated top to help out his Lone Druid, is not going to be able to do anything but just standing by and watching.
What a great kill.
What a good kill.
Keeping that Lone Druid down is going to be huge for them. And that's some early XP for the aggressive try that would otherwise have trouble getting it. So really great by Courage. And I mean, clearly I was wrong to doubt them because they immediately killed the Lone Druid.
Yeah, let's take a look who is playing what, as we haven't really had a chance to do that just yet. On the side of Zero Respect, we've got Creo playing the Visage, who is hiding right now from the Disruptor, who picked up Glimpse, by the way, so he's already level 2, which is, of course, really great if you're having an aggressive tri lane and you're already level 2 at 1.5 minutes in. We have Funzy, this time under his real name, playing his Templar Assassin in the middle lane. We have got Lone Druid, who is supposedly going back into the jungle. Maybe Visage? Is he still gonna go down? He might actually go down. They're stuck in the kinetic field. There is Gyrocopter very far away. He's just gonna get taken down by supports. I mean, yeah, that's another kill on the board right there. But Wiz is playing the Lone Druid. Bottom lane is a dual lane with Joral and the Maran and the Shadow Demon played by Michel. Can I call him Michel or Michael? It's a French name, right? Michel? I don't know.
It's probably Michelle, yeah.
Oh, there's gonna be Disruption, Arrow, Soul Catcher combination. Oh, you stuck! Very nicely done. Still get the Soul Catcher, or still gets the arrow off. Looks like he might just be able to walk away from this one, by the way. A couple of hits still coming out. No, he's gonna die. He's gonna die himself. Gonna take that one more hit. That should be doing enough damage. Indeed it does. And the teleport goes top from the Shadow Demon because he knows that his lone druid desperately needs his help. And glimpse back to where you came from. And Mr. Shadow Demon standing in the middle of a creep wave. Well...
Yeah, he got banished, basically. It's smart to keep reinforcing this top lane, but unfortunately, Shadow Demon won't be able to do so for another minute and a little bit more gold, so...
Yeah. That's, by the way, I introduced one team, and 2 kills happened while I did that. I just want to point that out. I'm expecting the same from you, so no pressure, but...
Alright. So, I'll get Courage. It's Undershock in the middle as Kunkka. Not doing super great so far against Funzy's TA. I mean, TA was a smart pickup here, and he's got a DD, so he's really bullying. And then it'll be in the bottom, Seema the Slayer on the Clockwork with 1 death to his name, and in the top lane, Ame on the Disruptor, Anzik on the Dazzle, and Judo on the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, no kills happening during your introductions. I'm slightly disappointed, but I think that 0Respect is going to be very happy with that. As they have a team that requires quite some build-up time. As, I mean, their tower already under siege. And when this... Actually, the faster this tower goes down in favor of Courage, I would actually say that might not be too bad for 0Respect, because... Oh, wait a second. Glimpse back. Visage. A lot of trouble there. They go for the Baron Lone Druid instead, though. Soul Assumption still comes out from the... or on the Disruptor, and that might be turning into a kill if the Lone Druid can just get 1 more hit. We're following the Gyrocopter, though, because Joral decided to come here, and he'll get himself a kill here. Disruptor still running away from that bear. He does have the boots. He is going to be able to deny himself to the Ursa Warrior, though, and that is going to be a good deny. And I have to say, a good comeback for 0Respect, or at least... good rotations. The tower is going to be able to get denied. But the thing is, I still think that maybe this tower going down is a good thing for 0Respect. Create some more space on the top lane to actually farm, because Courage is probably not going to try and push that hard on the tier 2. Oh, they don't They could have denied that ages ago! Ugh. Frustrating. Like, they could have denied that, right?
That's so funny. Yeah, they should have started earlier on the deny, as you said. You were totally right. Yeah, they lose a tower, but... that's the thing, as soon as this Visage and Shadow Demon rotated, you saw just how much harder this lane got. Yeah. That's why they were dodging the tri-lane. Like, Dazzle and Disruptor just do not win a lane against Shadow Demon and Visage. There's no way. My concern is that, also, there's really no way for them to roam and gank. Like, I guess Dazzle's level 4, so that's... no, never mind. With Dazzle being level 4, it's possible, but not that time, because Funzy saw it way in advance.
Yeah. They're gonna still try to go again, but now the Torrent is actually on cooldown, so...
yeah, not without Torrent.
Yeah. Oh, top lane, Visage. Gonna be dead again. Don't know why he's so aggressive. I mean, maybe even get a ward to make sure that you know where everybody is at all times, but right now he should be knowing that it's indeed him being in trouble there if he comes out so far. What do you think about putting Mirana on the top lane at this point? Because, I mean, Mirana is getting free farm bottom at the moment. He's up against the Clockwork. Is still doing pretty nice. 29 last hits for 5. Highest last hitter on the map, even higher than the Gyrocopter.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Joral loves to get a little bit of farm on Mirana early on. And he's got the Phase Boots bottle already. So the bottle for... lots of fight potential. We already saw him rotate over and get it.
Yes.
It's not like he's going to just be AFK farming. He's definitely playing a very active role. He finishes the Bracer, so he's going to probably go for drums as well, face drums. And yeah, I do think that they'll be able to be take a very muscular stance and protect the Lone Druid as he farms, with the rest of the team just going around and trying to get kills. And it could work. Dazzle, meanwhile, is a haste rune, so he's going to attempt to gank on this Mirana here. It's not going to be easy.
Well, let's see. Moonlight Shadow picked up at level 6. Another sign that she wants to be aggressive. But the Moonlight Shadow alone is enough to keep her safe, and no detection on the support, even though it's a fairly rich support. The courier just came in with the supports. Poor Dazzle that the courier, courier is flying back from his delivery, the chicken. Chicken too slow. Oh, top lane Judo? No, he's fine. Never mind. It was just harassment. Just harassment indeed. But they're gonna go for Joral again, but he's fine now as well. No more haste rune from the Dazzle. It's yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate courier mishap, I guess. Unfortunate timing from the Centaur to be there, but at least they're pressuring the Mirana a bit. At least she's not feeling as safe anymore to farm here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's great, but TA is getting a lot of farm as well. I mean, he's got 35 for 18 for his last hits, and he has a tier 2 boot coming, I believe, and we might see Funzy go for Blink or something this game. This could be a Blink
first has
TA
to
game.
go for Refraction, because otherwise he might die. There it is.
Oh.
He gets his Refraction up and will therefore live. Still has one Tango, but that's all he has in terms of regen. There is going to be a rune in 30 seconds though, so perhaps he's going to just try to stay alive until then. But
It seems like he might.
yeah, but he's doing really well as well. I mean, comparing last hits between him and Kunkka, he's sitting on 38 for 19, while Kunkka is sitting on 23 for 14. And he, like, right now, the top last hitters on the map are on the side of 0Respect, who of course did have the more tough lanes to go up against. And Lone Druid is one of those heroes that if you leave him alone for a while, he will get his farm eventually. Like, yes, he's been shut down early on, but in a way, he's only died once. Like, other than that, he was just not able to go on the lane again. Fair enough, but he has been able to jungle a bit. He's sitting on 1700 gold. He's not doing too bad. And once he is having the levels he can entangle, and once you can entangle, well, you're still good. You're still going to be able to have an impact on the fights.
Yes.
So yeah, even after the bad start of 0Respect, I have not lost faith just yet.
No, I don't think there's any cause to lose faith. Like, I think it's fine. And like, Kunkka doesn't need that much farm early on just to use his ultimate, so.
True. We're gonna see,
Dire's bottom
did he
tower
just use
is
his boat
under
again? I
attack.
missed that. Maybe I wanted to try and make a goal on the Visage. But levels are of course important this game as well, especially levels on the supports, most of all the Visage. Who's almost level 6 by the way, and he has been picking up a smoke, so looking perhaps to go for a gank. Shadow Demon is still very, very far off from level 6. Oh, and a Midas for Lone Druid actually. I was not expecting that one again. Oh, we got ourselves a go. Bottom lane. Clockwork is our target. He is sitting next to a sentry ward though, and he sees them coming, so he's gonna put up the cogs, and he'll be okay. And that's gonna be our go. Are you still here? Hello?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that.
Oh no, they're just checking. There you have a go on Funzy. X mark the spot's already there inside the Torrent in kinetic field. The refraction is off, and that's gonna be a kill right there. Sentry ward was also down,
Nice
no
kill.
melt hiding. And Amai is actually... This Disruptor, like, okay, this you know, score is 4-3 in total, as Visage just dies and makes it 5-3, and gonna make my point a lot less fun. Because before that kill, Visage, or Disruptor rather, had all the kills of his team. He's sitting on 4-1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, to get that kill on TA and Visage is actually pretty good for Courage in the sense that they're now finally catching up on levels.
Radiant's
Like,
bottom
Disruptor
tower
being
is
level
under
5 is great here, because he's gonna need that ultimate. Dazzle's gonna need levels, but he's level 6, so both these supports are doing well enough to where it's no longer like a critical issue for them to find levels. Like, I'm no longer as concerned about that particular part.
And when is Jarrell gonna leave the lane? I mean, yeah, he's been active for sure. He's got 2 out of the 3
Never.
kills. Never? Really?
I'm kidding.
Radiant's
No, because
bottom
I
tower
was
is
kind of
under
expecting
attack.
him to leave the lane a bit early. We do have a smoke of the supports of 0Respect, by the way. They're gonna try to find someone. Gyrocopter, Judo. He does have his Disruptor around him. Kinetic Field is already up. He lands a cooldown. He will still get picked off, though. Teleport from Disruptor is gonna get cancelled by the Familiars at level 6 of Creo. So important, so they should be picking up another kill right there. Indeed they do. That's, by the way, a dominating streak. Gold going the way of Creo. And the Dazzle kind of came in, and Clockwork did try or to get a good angle in, but those Familiars perfectly micro to block any kind of hook potential. I like it. Look at them. Making sure that there is going to be no way to hook in on 0Respect. I like it. I like it a lot. 2 kills going the way of 0Respect, putting the score back up to 5-5. Oh, Bojo just hit the bear. What do you think about this Lone Druid? Because he is getting his farm. But how long do you think he'll need until he can actually go in with his team and start making a big difference? Do you think he's still going to go for Radiance, or is he, because he has been shut down a bit early on, is he going to go for something like a Maelstrom first, rather than anything else?
I feel like it tends to be the safe bet that Lodros these days always go for Radiance, so like I don't want to say that he won't. I think in some cases it's not always like the best call. But here, I think it's not too late. He can definitely still do that and still be a contributor.
And we have another one that's going for phase drums, by the way. Gyrocopter, same build as the Marana. Marana, of course, already has it. Marana, actually, highest net worth on the map. Even with one tower down on the side of 0Respect that did not get denied. So, 0Respect, I have to say, they're doing quite okay. They are not ahead in gold. Barely, though. I mean, 500 gold in favor of Courage. It really doesn't really mean anything at all. An experience graph down to 0 as well. Even though Courage had the better, the better tri lane, but seems like they shut down Lone Druid a bit, but they didn't get that much in return for it on the other two lanes. They actually gave a lot away on the other two lanes in return. And with the Templar Assassin now having almost finished her Blink Dagger, that could be having a pretty big impact as well. There comes the gank train. They are too late with catching Judo, though. They hesitated for a moment. The disruption was not there. And the kinetic field will make sure that they don't go in anymore. Oh, they're gonna go for the Disruptor anyway. Disruptor will get picked up. Moonlight Shadow is there as well. Our Disruptor lives with the Dazzle Heal coming out as well. Not a Moonlight Shadow will keep the rest alive. But with the Templar Assassin coming in, the Centaur still gets placed. But it doesn't really matter. Shouldn't matter anyway. Judo is already down. The Grave up on the Dazzle himself, who didn't even need it in the end. Clockwork coming in from the side. I'm not sure why, because he is kind of outnumbered, and he might have just killed himself. It can at least take the Visage down with him to the grave, though, but it will indeed get picked up. 3 for 1, not a good trade for that Clockwork whatsoever. And also, of course, I mean, the Dazzle still got picked up because Funzy just chased him down. Very good fight for 0Respect. And Funzy has got enough gold for his Blink Dagger. I wonder if that's actually what he's going to go for. If he's going to try to go for a bit more of a semi-carry Templar Assassin-y type. So go for Yasha or something. He also got phase boost, by the way. Everybody's going phase boost. It's very squishy. I guess you can do that if you have a refraction, but it's, I don't know. It's a bit
no, for sure. It's a very squishy build. Like, he's basically hoping that he's going to dodge boats effectively. Because if he doesn't dodge a boat, it's pretty much lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, getting the kill, Gyrocopter
Everybody
really
going
struggling.
for phase drums, by the way. Kunkka has them too. So that's 3 people going for phase drums.
Builds.
Well, I'm waiting for Templar Assassin to do the same.
If only instead of drums, they went the item that's even better than drums, Veil of Discord.
Oh, wow. What kind of... Oh, wait a second. We have got a boat and a cooldown coming down on nothing, actually. Maybe Creole get picked up, but he's a support. They do get a tower, though, so it's not completely hopeless for Courage. And they also get the Visage, which is great. Perhaps they can get something off the back of this. It's a lot of hate for just a Visage and a tower, though. All 5 heroes here. Cooldowns, boats. Of course, both have a fairly short cooldown. But giving free farm to the Lone Druid, they're kind of giving time to that Lone Druid, I find. And I don't like his set. He's White Bear. I don't like the White Bear.
Me neither, I hate it.
I actually like the genuine Onyx one better, the black bear, but I don't like that it's a drooling bear. I don't like the drool coming out of his mouth. The drool is stupid. But yeah, the bear is getting some time. Some long time with this bear. He's sitting on 2,400 gold, which does seem to be turning into, of course, the famed Radiance. I'm totally understanding to that, especially since his team apparently can fare pretty well on their own without him. So he's been given the time. Time has been bought by his team, has been given by Courage, and we're going to see another smoke gang coming out by the looks of it, as we do have 3 heroes smoked up. Disruptor, the first one there, because of course he's going to try to disrupt. Whoever comes in close, he will be caught out, or at least they're like in the jungle 4 versus 3 though, and it's going to be very scary, because from behind the counter smoke, the Disruptor is already there. They scout them out, but they're still going to go for the Kunkka. In comes the Soul Catcher, the TA. He dodges the boat, but of course the boat buff still up on the Kunkka. Now with the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field, it is going to be 0Respect that will lose all 3 heroes to this counter smoke and to this boat buffed Kunkka, who lived purely because of that buff. Brilliant play from Courage.
Boat is some incredibly serious business. Is basically the summary of that fight. Like, and you had called it, Shiva, completely. You were like, hey, they're building really squishy. Like if a boat lands, they lose. Yeah. The Visage's health went from 100% to 40% solely on boat damage.
Oh, and do you remember me saying that I was hoping that Templar Assassin went for drums? She get for drums! We've got 4 people in this game that went face drums.
Where's the Veil, man?
Oh, what are you doing there, Marana? Oh, yes, of course, your side of the map. Wow. Okay, what are you doing there, Lone Druid? Well, Lone Druid is out far for his territory. He's gonna get hit by the boat. His bear is still able to attack the Kunkka though, and the Entangles there should be buying him enough time to get away, and is actually going to try to teleport out. There's no X mark anymore, and Clockwork is not going to be there in time to get a hook shot in, or to actually get there.
Well, he didn't have hook shot cooldown, yeah.
Maybe the battery saw it, but no. Wasn't very far. He's sitting on 3k gold, so pretty close to having his relic. I have to say, I know that 2 drums on a team is not bad, but having phase drums on all the core heroes, it just seems like something is off with that for me. Like, oh...
I think it's just almost become the pro forma build for a lot of carries. Like, it's just sort of what you do, because it gives you really good stats.
Yep.
And they keep nerfing drums, but people keep doing it.
We've got ourselves a bit of a fight going on here. Looks like Shadow Demon is going to be the first one to fall. Maybe also the only one, because he did give maybe Templar Assassin enough time to get away. In comes Visage though, trying to help, but it's not going to be helping at all. He's going to drop maybe Templar Assassin. Going in again, they do get at least a Clockwork, but a boat comes in, hits upon Funzy. His refraction is already ticked off, gets glimpsed back in the hands of the Rocket Barrage of Judo. Funzy is invisible for the moment, but a dust comes out. Judo gets entangled though. Lone Druid deciding to mix up in the fight. TA still dies, but Lone Druid able to help kill off the Gyrocopter as well. It's 3 for 2 for now as Joral is trying to get away. The arrow indeed will hit up on the Disruptor Force. Step forward though, kinetic field. No, the teleport out was Joral somewhere else. So he will be able to make it out alive. Close though. That Lone Druid coming in definitely saved 0Respect from at least getting something in return for that fight. But because they just ran in one by one to that one. At least they got the Gyrocopter. That was, I believe, the first time that he died? No, the 4th time the Gyrocopter died. What am I saying? Wow.
Yeah, so he's died a lot actually, Judo, because they've managed to get a lot of good ganks off, and like the rotations up to top helped in the early laning, and after that they've just picked him off. And of course they picked him off at the tier 1 bottom, and they picked him off in that fight just now. So, I mean, Gyrocopter has kind of struggled a bit. Judo, because he has 4 deaths, he's nowhere near his BKB yet, and that's a huge deal for 0Respect, a team that, you know, until the Lone Druid and the Mirana get really buff, is primarily based around blowing people up, like, with just, like, constant soul assumptions.
Yeah. It's going okay-ish for 0Respect. And I actually think that it should be going a bit worse if Courage wants to be able to do something, because this Lone Druid has got his relic now, and you know, he got to kill that fight, or at least an assist that fight. He was able to contribute, and that will only start to increase once he is done with his Radiance. I fear that for Courage, they can just group up as 5. Wait a second, they might be able to get a gank off here on the Lone Druid. The cooldown comes down as well. Is it enough? There's already an arrow flying in. Will actually whiff though. But Visage also able to buy some time. Static Storm still coming out, but Wiz is able to get away. Has to be careful though. If his bear dies, he dies too, and the bear does go down, so he drops. Templar Assassin looking for some revenge. Joral with the last hit on at least 3 heroes right there as Disruptor, Judo's, Gyrocopter, and Dazzle died, and perhaps they can get themselves the Clockwork as well as the arrow flies in and the Starstorm with a killing blow. Ultra kill for Joral's Mirana. Only Kunkka the one to stay alive, who is running back into safety. Well, that was a very expensive Lone Druid kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of the Joral one-roll Mirana, actually. Like, it's not that they want him to free farm that much, it's mostly about getting to that point of farm and getting to that ideal level with all of his spells maxed, where he can just use those to their full effectiveness, because he really knows this hero. He really knows when and how to use his spells to just devastate an enemy team. And like, the arrows, the starfalls were all critical there. But this rush might be a potential turnaround.
Yeah, the boat already hits upon Funzy, but he gets disrupted, so he's fine. Looks like Roshan will just watch until the battle is over before he'll take a fall. But for now, both teams seem to be, well, not willing to give it away. And actually, Courage is going to go in. The Familiars will scout that out.
Well, they feel like they need to, definitely.
Yeah, but they do. But they also, like, Courage, 0Respect is not going to give this away. Arrow flies in, will only hit upon Roshan, though. Dodged out. In the meantime, Clockwork making sure that it's tough for 0Respect to actually get into the fight, apart from the bear, at least. But 0Respect is going to hang around. They don't want to give anything away here. So it's about who goes in first and who lets the other team take the Roshan, who's going to be the bigger man and, you know, back off. Or the bigger man and man up.
Oof. I mean, right now Courage have slightly better positioning, but they are Radiant, they have that natural disadvantage. I think they can probably take it just because boat cooldown is so difficult to fight into, but the problem is that these Visage Birds are delaying it so much that it might take... Oh, nice arrow though.
Very nice. We have got Funzy still disrupted. We'll keep him up and through the boat, through the static storm. We'll still get picked up by the Kunkka afterwards though with a nice hit there with his Tidebringer. It's only the kill so far, and it is actually Courage that gets forced away, literally forced staffed away as the Entangle hit upon the Dazzle. Still a Disruptor taking an arrow, will go down because of it. And they'll just try to have a safe escape. I don't think it's going to work out though. Dazzle's going to try to teleport out. Starstorm coming out to get that kill, however. Wicked Sick Jural, 2 for 1. Templar Assassin gave her life for the greater good. That this should be the Roshan going for 0 respect, or is it? Because it is actually Courage that comes back in. A boat. No, a Torrent rather, coming in on Jural.
No.
Cooldown still coming there as well. Jural does not have a leap, does not have any mana. Has to be very careful. Tries to juke around trees. Apparently is working out. Now he has a leap again and he'll be safe. Well, Lone Druid gets the Aegis on the sideline. He will lose it straight away. But nonetheless, the Roshan goes to 0 respect. They get a kill with the arrow. Yep, Kunkka just drops from an arrow from the side. Arrow to the face. Wiz trying to keep himself up. Homo Missile still chasing him down, but he will live. His Visage still drops as well. We've got at least same with the Slayer. Oh, forced up to the high ground, but the arrow still for the low ground. It is going to get the kill. Jural with a double kill. Funzy with full health. He died earlier. He's going to go for this. He's back with full health and mana. Stick charges, keep him up for a little while longer. Only one hit needed. And there are, of course, face boots up. Kinetic Field is not going to be keeping him safe enough. Funzy gets the kill. Another 3 heroes dead on Courage. That was a very expensive Roche fight for both teams, but 0 respect walking away with the Roche experience and gold, and with the most kills as well in this engagement. This is, I have to say, like, I was not expecting this much of an arena right now. I mean, did Radiance finish that fight? I think it should have been. Right? That was enough gold for the bear. Yes, the bear now has Radiance. So I think from this point onward, it's... You know, the trouble is, for now, up until this point, it's been 2 cores versus 2 cores. The 2 with the phase boot drums, the 4 with the phase boot drums up against each other. And now all of a sudden, a new player enters the field. Hello, Lone Druid with Radiance. Nice to meet you. You're all dead. And that's how fights are gonna go. This one, not this one on the bottom though, because this one on the bottom is gonna see Funzy getting picked off here. Nice combination from Ame with the Kinetic Field Static Storm, and of course Kunkka there to deal the damage.
Odd positioning too.
Yes,
honestly.
he was there
like, no
by
vision
himself.
or anything.
Caught out. But that's the kind of kills that Courage has to hope for to get, because 5-on-5 fights is gonna be not really good for them, or maybe it is, as Clockwork just hooks himself in the arrow, misses. Cooldown is gonna pick up Jural. That's actually 1,200 gold going to Judo's Disruptor, or Gyrocopter rather. Looks like they're gonna get the bear as well here, 300 extra gold going the way of the Dazzle, but they don't get the Lone Druid. They do get 2 kills overall there in the mid lane though, but that's... I feel like that's just 0 respect playing a bit overconfident and not really, like, seemingly forgetting that they are still supposed to play this slightly tactical, even though they are outnumbering the cores of Courage right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly... Courage, what didn't work for them in the Rush fight worked for them there, I think. Like, their lineup is so positioning dependent that if they get like bad positioning and they don't get a big boat.
Clutch disruption coming out from the disruptor, from the Shadow Demon. He will still get picked up though. BKB turned on by the gyro. They get the bear again. No more bears. Hookshot coming in up on 2. Funzy and Creo, some trouble. Creo already dead. Funzy, his reflection about to be up, but he still has the BKB on. And Judo might actually die from that. Kinetic Field will keep him safe. No, one more hit. He gets it. Funzy gets it. An arrow from the trees. Kunkka, arrow magnet. This game will take a Starfall to the face. The Shallow Grave will keep him up for a little while longer, but it's only a delay of execution. There it is. Seema trying to run, but no such thing is gonna happen for him. He's no, there's no Roshan to deny yourself to. Tough luck. At least 0 respect was able to turn that fight around. I actually thought perhaps Courage is gonna be able to end it if just 0 respect walked in one by one, but they get the multitude of kills. Only the 2 supports live on the side of Courage, and this is gonna be a tier 1 tower. The last tier 1 tower on the side of Courage actually to drop here in the middle lane. Without bear. You don't need a bear. 50 seconds for the next bear.
Yeah, I mean, this game is starting to leave the realm of the fully analyzable. Like, I feel that both teams are just going for each other pell-mell, like, regardless of, like, they're not even making decisions, they're just sort of following their animal instincts to kill each other.
Arena Dota. Ooh,
nice deny.
Nice deny. Force that forward, actually, to try and see if he can catch a glimpse.
Funzy used line of sight really smart there to make sure that he was out of line of sight so he couldn't be glimpsed.
Yeah. Catch a glimpse of Funzy. And that's punny. It's punny! I made it punny.
Good stuff.
Sorry.
Dire's
Just had
Okay.
to say that.
has been
But yeah, I mean, tower still dies, regardless of it getting denied or not. Templar Assassin is also able to deny a tier 1 on the bottom lane for their own. But nonetheless, this is the first opening that there is to tier 3 towers. And this is one of those games where either team, if they have got a good fight going for them, and they can go high ground, they can push fairly fast. Now, this goes more for 0Respect than for Courage, but it's definitely, Courage is still a pretty good pushing, still a pretty decent pushing lineup as well, because they can clear out creep waves so fast. But it's pretty scary. If they keep up this arena Dota style play, then they have to be really careful with where they lose the fight, where the lanes are when they lose a fight, or where the lanes are when they win a fight.
Radiant's
Look at
bottom
it,
tower
half full
is
glass.
under attack.
And have to not get caught out anymore, which is something that Joral might... Oh, no, leap. Never mind. Shadowblade and Undershock. I haven't really looked at the items all that much because they've been fighting all the
Dire's
time
middle
as a
tower
hookshot
has
misses.
been
But
denied.
yeah, there's a Shadowblade up on the Kunkka, which is actually his first item. There is a glimpse inside the kinetic field. The disruption is just so balls, but there is still a... Yeah, there was still a boat, still a kill. The disruption was almost just the lifesaver of the day right there, but no, they get the Visage. But that gives time for the courier to bring BKB to the Mirana, or Moonlight Shadow. Actually, they want to try and take down someone. The Entangle already hit up on the Clockwork. He put up the cogs. Looks like he's still in some trouble though, with the birds chasing him down and an arrow hitting him as well. That's going to be Funzy on a killing spree right now. The rest of the lineup of Courage gets away. And it's only a 1 versus 1, but they do get the tower. Actually, there was also another... Templar Assassin still was able to push bottom lane and get a tier 2 tower there as well. So towers are falling and getting exchanged. But it just seems like all mid. Every time, all the time.
Disruptor.
I hear it. Oh, there he is. What's Disruptor doing there? Oh, what is Shadow Demon doing there? What and how annoying is
anybody
it that it's a
doing there?
Disruptor up against a guy that disrupts, right?
You stole my spell. I'll meet you at the secret shop for a duel.
Yeah. 1 versus 1. Do not bring friends. Well, no.
1v1 me, mate.
Yeah. The winner gets to take the title Disruptor. He's a true disruptor of this realm.
Yeah. Disruptor has had an enormous impact this game. 9, 5, and 7. Like,
Yes.
he's actually making ags, and he's only 1 point booster in, but still, keep an eye out for that if this game goes really long.
Yeah, and one thing actually, like, that's right now making a difference. I mentioned that perhaps, the pushing is going to be strong on both sides, but 0Respect just totally surpassed that by just picking up a Desolator up on Funzy. Like, a Desolator will make a big difference when pushing down towers, and it's something that Courage doesn't really have, nor do they have really a standard Desolator builder. And, it's not Dazzle. Just to say that. Dazzle is, Desolator, but it's, he's not going to have the gold anytime soon, and he's not building into a semi-carry kind of Dazzle either. They're really going to have the damage to get from the Kunkka and from the Gyrocopter, and none of those is going to make anything like that.
No. I think you mentioned earlier on, like, it's definitely 3 full-scale cores on one team, and really 2 on the other, the Kunkka and the Gyro.
Oh. Disruptor dodges the X mark the spot, but I don't think it matters. He'll die.
You mean Shadow Demon?
Yes! Shadow Demon. Now you messed me up.
He's got you fooled too?
Yes! He got me fooled. It's like, I'm gonna say that a lot more often from now on, because obviously my brain is now to mush because of the spells. Shouldn't have mentioned that. I just made it harder for myself. This bear, he already has a Vlad. Looks like he's going for an AC next. I really like that. That armor stacking is going to help them out tons. It just basically makes Dazzle a lot less effective for his ultimate anyways, which is something that's normally very strong on him, but with all the extra armor buffs coming out for 0Respect, it's not that big of an issue anymore, as they take a free Roshan as well, as we see Templar Assassin with the Aegis. So what do you say? 0Respect, Courage Gaming, 50 minutes into this game. Go.
Damn, I don't even know. Like, I don't think it's... Like, with Mirana having BKB, with TA having BKB, and TA having Aegis, I think they're in pretty good shape to just high ground push. But it's very tough to high ground push into Kunkka also, because of the power to clear waves between him and Gyro, because of the power of a boat.
Yeah, and Gyro, of course, one of the heroes that... I mean, he's going for an MKB now, So, you know, that's something. But he's one of the heroes that with a rapier, he can do tons of work. Like, they're Templar Assassin, Marana, and Lone Druid are not really rapier carriers. While, Clockwork, what are you doing? Oh, he's fine. While Gyrocopter and Kunkka as well, actually, with a rapier, can just completely wreck things up. Have a way bigger impact with a rapier than the heroes on 0Respect do. So it's something that later on in this game could come into play if it is indeed Courage that finds that it's necessary. For now, though, it's they're exchanging towers, tier 2 for tier 2, tier 2 top for tier 2.
Yeah, I think it's an okay trade for Courage. Like, they need to be able to present some sort of credible high ground threat, because otherwise they'll just get pushed to death. Man, these Giral arrows are so insanely on point every time.
It looks like Disruptor is going to have some issues here. He will get picked up, and Marana is actually still here. He's going to go for this. He's going to force them away. He's not going to be able to get a kill, but he saved his Shadow Demon. There we go.
Yeah, you're just you can't be stopped at this point. You're just stealing this guy's name.
I didn't do it on purpose. It was on like I mentioned Shadow Demon, obviously.
You should call them Thrall and what the hell is Shadow Demon's name?
I don't know.
Eridar?
I don't know. Well, Giral might have just no, he's fine. Or is he? 4-step forward from Same as well, but he doesn't have a hookshot anymore, so yeah. I have to say, I'm impressed
it's
by...
It's not Thrall. It's Disruptor the Disruptor in Dota 2.
Well, yeah, in Dota 2 it is, but in Dota 1 it was Thrall.
Yeah, it was Thrall, yeah.
So, I have to say, if I was a carry in a team, and obviously I'm not because I suck at it, but if I, like, decision-making wise, turning around to save your support Shadow Demon and putting your own life on the line normally is not something that you see from a carry player.
Right, not usually.
Not usually, unless it's Giral, who was able to save his Shadow Demon from damnation, basically. I'm impressed. He's able to get some extra farm here as well. Has picked himself up the Demon Edge, and talking about new items, we also have a Daedalus ready up on the Kunkka, so that is on the board. The Gyrocopter has got his MKB ready, Soul's Grass ready now on the Lone Druid. The teams are getting more and more ready to start another fight, especially with the with 0Respect still having the Aegis for another 3 minutes. As Dazzle might be in some trouble. Actually, holy crap. So Dazzle just got 2-shot.
Yeah, that's Templar Assassin is definitely doing the Templar Assassin thing.
But might be in some trouble as well. Brilliant hook shot there, but the Moonlight Shadow comes on, and it's Funzy to turn on his BKB and look for a kill. He's like a one-man army right now. He's gonna get some backup as well with the Lone Druid there. He's looking for entangles, finds creeps only. Maybe Undershock can make something happen here. Funzy in some trouble. Funzy actually losing his Aegis there. The boat will therefore miss, so I guess it's actually not that bad. But he did create an opening for going... Look at this push! It's just... how can you stop this? There is no fortification coming out from Courage, but they need to fight. They lost the lane of Rax. Never mind fighting. Hoping that 0Respect leaves their base is probably the best bet right now, because if they would lose a fight right now, they would lose way more than just one lane of Rax. Undershock though, he's going in. He wants to land that torrent hit, gets it as well. Doesn't get anything with it though, or at least no kills. As we are going to see a disruption on the Templar Assassin, keeping himself up. Judo turns on his BKB. He has to be careful. He'll get picked up there. BKB or no BKB. That Desolator damage still hurts. Dazzle goes down as well. Buyback from Judo. Hookshot in on Giral. Perhaps he can get him, but he still has a leap. He will be able to leap away. Should be safe. Should be fine. It is Seima that is the one that at least gets the bear. Gets arrowed though, and that's a double kill for the Marana. Still, these arrows indeed are just out of this world. Funzy, not done just yet, forces Judo back inside of his base. And that is 0Respect, not losing a single hero, getting kills, getting buybacks, and getting an entire lane of Rax. And all they had to give up was an Aegis, and even that I feel like was kind of not really needed to give up. That was an amazing fight for them.
Yeah, they really just are muscling through. And that's again, this Giral Marana combining hyper aggression with being able to farm up, and like 200 last hits is really respectable. And then he's got 12 kills on top of it. Like, he's had an insane game, and this is why people fear this pick.
Yeah, I don't blame them, because it's pretty damn scary. And normally I'm not a fan of hard carry Marana or safe lane Marana, and even though he was like safe lane slash, the farmer in this game, he's been so active. So incredibly active all across the map that, yeah, I like this kind of Marana a lot more than a passive one. Lone Druid in the meantime, I mean, yes, he got his Radiance, and yes, he is making a difference, but mostly I feel right now he's there for the Radiance burn and for the auras that the bear offers right now. His entangles, has not been game-changing. And it's been really the arrows and the damage that Mirana brings out that is helping them with this game. And I guess in the diving that Funzy did, the baiting out, who now also has got crit to his name Chrysalis and is in his inventory, finishes up his Deadless with that one. So yeah, Courage, what do you think that they should... Is this Rapier time?
It might be. Honestly, it might be time for the Desperate Rapier. It's a shame that Gyro already has MKB, and it's going to take a very, very long time to build it. Kunkka, though, is a little closer.
He is. I mean, he's sitting on 1,300 gold, which is still not that rich. And I guess Judo, I mean, he was forced to buy back previous fights, so that didn't really help in terms of getting his gold there together. But I think it's time. And if it's coming in time, that's the big question though, and it doesn't look like it because we already have a bit of a push on the bottom lane. It's not the entire lineup of 0Respect, but it's most of them, and they are still going to be able to push very, very fast, and they should be able to get the tier 3 tower. They actually get the fortification, which alone is already very good for them. Kinetic Field only catches a bear who's just focused on the tower. And are they going to go in on that? Are they going to try and save the bear? The cooldown is coming down. Disruption is going to save at least the Visage for a moment. The bear actually goes down. The Master Bear drops. But Funzy is all up on this. Arrows will miss this time. Funzy turns around. The Visage birds are already taking down the ranged Rex, who haven't dropped just yet, but will drop with one more last hit, which Funzy is able to do. Well, actually, no, he's not able to do that at all because he's kind of dead. But, I mean, that's another lane of Rex. Hookshot and oh, brilliant hookshot. Catches out the Shadow Demon who was invisible there. Clockwork takes an arrow though, and that might have been just enough to save him. The Torrent will miss on Michelle on the Shock, looking for something. Has got an X mark to spot, but doesn't get the vision anymore. The familiar birds going in, getting the racks. Hello right there. They're getting killed off by Judo, but that's worth it. At least losing one bird for these ranged racks right here. It's I mean, it's a good fight for Courage. Probably one of the better ones that they could have hoped for. They got the Templar Assassin, they got the Lone Druid, but they still lose ranged racks. And their tier 3 tower. So if that is a good fight, what is a bad fight? A bad fight is game. So they can't have good fights anymore. They have to have awesome fights from this point onward. If it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key item here was really that Deso on TA. Like it's a good item on her in general, but particularly in this game, it just ramped their pushing effectiveness so much, as well as making them able to pop support.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And, I mean, Courage, their farm is kind of stagnated, because obviously they need to give a lot still to the Gyro and the Kunkka, and there's not that much space anymore to farm, because 0Respect has taken over their jungle, and their Ancient Sack is, of course, still a possibility to farm where Gyro or where Kunkka is farming right now, but... You know, the Disruptor that was starting to build towards his Aghanims, for example? He is still very 2,500 gold away, and that's kind of painful. Dazzle, not able to do anything either, apart from just casting his spells, and the Grave, I guess, is of course very important right now, but if he, like, we already saw him get 2-shot before.
Yep. I actually think he's gonna have to do his weave a lot more speculatively. Like, it has to be... It's tough to time properly, but basically they need to start their fights with already like 8 stacks of weave or more, because otherwise the TA they will die. There's way too much physical damage plus the TA, so they need to have a lot more armor than they already have going in addition to the Kunkka boat buff, because boat is amazing, but even through the boat they're getting burst.
And I mean, not only the Desolator, but the AC, the Vlads, something that is very good against the Desolator as well, as we already see that woohoo, Dazzle, or Disruptor actually lives. I mix up all of this, all the supports right now, but yeah, but Funzy should be able to live through this actually. He'll let you do home so he'll get Glimpse back inside the kinetic field. Turns out it's BKB though. He's gonna go for this. That's a double kill. That's a 2-shot Kunkka. Looking for more, looking for the Dazzle, will get slowed down. Funzy on the chase, has another refraction as well. In the meantime, Mirana is able to pick up the Clockwork, who was at the back of the fight. Funzy goes for Judo instead, but Looks like they're too fast. Oh, well,
Again,
we
they
have
had
a
to
cure
weave.
for that.
If you want to pick a fight with TA, you have to. That was a one shot.
That was a one
just
shot.
straight up a one shot.
And that was
like, you need the
Dazzle
armor
not
to
using
live.
the weave at all. Could have used it while running, didn't do
Yeah.
it. Funzy now maybe in
I
some
agree.
trouble though. Rocket Rush coming up, but he has another refraction. And that's another one shot. Triple kill for Funzy. Will get picked up in the end though, but at least, I mean, there's 4 people dead in the set of Courage.
Yeah.
And that was, okay, Clockwork got cut out by the rest of the team. But the other 3 died because Funzy turned on his
Yeah.
BKB.
The standard running in terror from a 3v1 engagement. Yeah.
Yes! The standard
I don't know.
running
I do
and then
think that
dying
it's
as
a
well.
bit of Dazzle misuse in that they're really not using the weave to its best effectiveness. But mainly it was just 0Respect used their lineup properly. Like, yeah, the Lone Druid didn't have an easy time early game, but he got farm. And the Mirana got amazing farm and tons of kills. And TA got Dezo. And all of a sudden they chew through your towers, they chew through your players. And unless you time your boat and your weave perfectly, you're going to lose fights.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I still also think, like, early on in the game, yeah, they killed him once, but then they took down the tower top, and they left the top lane kind of alone. A lot more alone than they did before anyways.
Yeah.
As this is game,
You
they
think
don't
the
even
lack
care
of top
about
tier
killing.
one hurt them, basically. Yeah.
They don't even care about taking down the heroes, they just took down the throne. Well, strong performance from 0Respect, I have to say, and therefore they will be the team to actually stay in the Yardwide Festival, as this is, of course, a best-of-1 loser bracket game.
They deserved it, honestly.
Yes.
They played extremely well.
What would you say, like, Courage, what do they need to do differently? Like, how were they supposed
people
to
need
win
to
this?
first ban Mirana against this team. This is like, you know that they do like 95% of their scrims and stuff with Mirana one role. So like, when you give it away, and they're always going to take it first, always. They're not going to let it go to second phase. There's almost no reason not to ban her, because she's almost first ban worthy as is.
Yeah.
And then you add the fact that this team has, their best win rate is with Mirana. So I don't know. I think you respect ban Mirana. I think the Dazzle Disruptor lane, like, it only really worked as long as, like, 0Respect let it work. And then they were like, okay, fine, we'll rotate Shadow Demon Visage, and if you try to dive Shadow Demon Visage, we'll rotate Mirana.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the end of the laning phase as far as Courage were concerned. So some draft issues. I think they played fine. Maybe we have some bone to pick with Dazzle, but overall I thought they did okay.
Yeah. Better luck next time. Because, I mean,
Better luck next time.
for me, it was, like, I know the players in it, of course, the names are familiar, but the team itself, I believe, hasn't been together for that long of a time. And for
Definitely
them
not.
to make it, like, they beat Meet Your Makers. They have
that's
had
huge.
strong games against 4FC as well.
Yeah. No,
even
they
though
should
they
they
did
should
get
definitely
thrown,
be
I believe.
proud of their performance,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so too. It's a good start anyway, good opening start. As for 0Respect, they've been around for a lot longer, of course. So if you were to ask me like who's going to win this game, I would have said 0Respect. Maybe if you asked me 5 minutes into the game, I wouldn't have. But yeah, I think it's good for them that they continue onward because they definitely have a lot of potential. They have a plan, and they can work it out properly, and they don't panic, which is also something.
No,
that's very
they really
important.
don't. And I like the addition of Funzy as well. It just gives that little bit of a extra dynamic element where, hey, they can carry from mid. Like, TA was doing, like, pretty well, and then hit that Dezo, and then the BKB, and then the crit, and that triple kill at the end was just crazy.
That's just stupid. Like, really? Like, he was 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
Clockwork was at the back of the fight. You know, he could, of course, I mean, he's one of the heroes that can disrupt TA very badly because, of course, Kagome, Battery Assault, and all that jazz. But
And Blade Mail.
but it's, like, he one-shot people.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they had all the pieces coming together. Like, Gyro was making his butterfly. And keep in mind, like, there was an MKB already up on Mirana, so that butterfly was just, like, solely anti-TA tech. But if Clockwork had been able to hit the Heaven's Halberd, that would have been huge, because they could at least disarm TA or Mirana in a fight. But they just didn't quite get there. Still, they did well.
Yep.
2 really cool games today, I would say.
I agree. And that's, I think, something that we said Sunday too. Best out of 1 games, very explosive games. Now, this was the last game for today for the Artwide Festival. Tomorrow there's gonna be games. So far there's only 1 scheduled, but some of the teams still have to schedule their games. Now, from my point of view, it's actually tomorrow is gonna be the game that I'm looking forward to most of all the games here, because it will be Power Rangers taking on Rock's Kiss. And I just like watching both of the teams, especially when they're together.
sure.
So hopefully we're going to see a good best of 3 for that, because that is a winner's bracket semifinals best of 3. Make sure you tune in. Tomorrow that game is scheduled at 1900. So that does mean that maybe before or after the game there's going to be some more games scheduled. But for now, 1900 CT is when you should be back here tomorrow to watch more Yard Wide Festival for some very explosive, hopefully, games in a best of 3 for the winners bracket semifinals. Stick around for watching commercials if you want to support us that way. And otherwise, have a great evening. I know that in about 20 minutes time, you will be able to watch the Captain's Draft Invitational, which is something that I'm quite curious about. So you can stick around here for 20 minutes for watching commercials. Yes! That's all you've ever wanted, right? So, yeah, no, if you don't, stick around and have, of course, a great evening. And I hope you watch some Dota elsewhere, because watching Dota is awesome. And, if we're all Dutch peoples out there, keep an eye on my Twitter, because I might be on television soon. Woo. So.
Good times.
Very good times. I'm not sure, though, because I was talking too fast. And, I don't know. I have to always talk slower when I'm on Dutch television, because I'm a very fast talker in Dutch. I guess in English as well sometimes, but English people are used to that because English people talk fast overall. Anyways, any last shout-outs or plugins?
No. I don't have any shoutouts or plugins. I'm unhappy with Twitch Plays Pokemon right now, so I don't want to shut them out.
You're unhappy with them? Why? Because the Twitch chat went down?
No, because they added democracy mode, which I don't approve of. So
okay, on record, Vickermont disapproves of democracy.
Yes, I'm in favor of anarchy, which is the previous mode.
So they did it because they were like 70 to 100k people on that stream, right?
They had like more than 70,000. They've been stuck for about 20 hours in this one room, and I think the creator got fed up. But I think that's part of the charm. I think you should absolutely let the anarchy sort itself out. I think if they had given it a few more days, they could have powered through. But people got impatient, and now there's some nonsensical democracy thing, and I don't like it at all. But thank you for having me on. Thanks to Yardwide Festival. They've had a really great tournament so far. I think there've been a lot of really cool games.
Yeah. Oh wow, we've been sitting so long in the after game thinking that the game actually vanished. So well, here I am. But yeah, follow us on Twitter at Vickermont for my co-caster.
Follow us on Twitter.
At Cheever Gamer for myself, and you should follow us on Twitter and follow everybody on Twitter that you support. I mean, it might not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to the people that you follow, because it's just it's numbers. It sounds really stupid, but numbers mean something, especially to, for example, sponsors out there. I'm all in Dota promotion. It may sound
stupid, but numbers mean something.
Yeah. Well, I'm all thinking I'm all in promotion mode today. What? Okay, so did you really laugh so hard? I was thinking you're gonna end with that note. You're gonna leave me after just laughing at me and just leaving.
But I was laughing.
Numbers matter.
Those squiggles that you see that aren't letters, they do in fact have some symbolic content.
It is. Normally I don't really care about numbers, but sponsors care about numbers, and that's why you should care about numbers too, people. Let that be a lesson.
I agree. That's true.
So if you don't have a Twitter account, create one. Follow everybody that you know on Dota 2 on Twitter, and you don't have to look at it ever if you don't want to, but at least you'll follow them, and at least you'll be a number, and you'll matter in the Dota 2 world. Wow, that sounds really bad. Okay, I didn't just say that. Thank you for watching! Have a good night, and follow us on Twitter. Awesome. And bye-bye.